Hi Marcus, good to see you. How are you?
Okay, yeah, good.
There's been a big gap between the end of the season and where we are now. Okay, you've had the FA Cup final in between, which changed it a little bit for you. But I wonder how you've managed that time. Have you had a break yourself? And then has it been difficult to get back into training and prepare for 2 games? How does that work for you?
No, I think we've done it before, so I think you get used to doing it, and especially after this season, it's been a long season. So I think everyone needed the period to shut down, enjoy times with their friends and family. But yeah, when it's time to come back, I think everyone's focus has been good. So yeah, we're just, as always, we're looking forward to the games.
With the World Cup uniquely in the winter, it has been an extraordinary long season for you, and Gareth Southgate is adamant that these 2 games are vital for building the kind of squad cohesion and preparing for next summer. Is that a difficult message to get through to the players because of the long season you've had?
No, not really. I think at the end of the day, everyone's winners, so whatever game we're playing and whoever it's for, whether it's for a club or country, we're going to want to win anyway, so that means preparing, right, and I think he expects that from us because we've shown that that's how we are as a group. So, yeah, he's obviously told us they're important games, and I think that's important as well because there's some new players in the squad. But yeah, I think for the players, I think the situation's clear. We want to go and put in 2 good performances and get 2 wins.
I want to take you back to March because you've had some relatively minor injuries that have disrupted your plans with England and the amount you've been able to be involved with the England squad recently. And in March you were criticised by some for withdrawing from the squad and then being photographed in New York on a holiday. Now, important to say that Southgate totally supported you at the time, had absolutely no problem with it. He's the manager. But I just wondered how you felt about it, that your commitment to England was being questioned at the time.
I didn't see it. To be honest with you, I didn't see it until I got home. But yeah, obviously I need time to switch off and recover. So yeah, I took a short trip, 4 days, and then went back to do rehab and just try and get ready for as soon as possible. And these injuries you can't predict when they're going to happen. Thankfully, I have very few muscle strains and them type of injuries, but occasionally you do get impact injuries, and the majority of my injuries have been that.
I just wonder whether that criticism of you, people questioning your commitment to playing for your country, though, does that hurt? That must really hurt.
Honestly, it doesn't. I know that I'm committed to it 100%. So, people are going to say what they're going to say. It don't really bother me.
Okay, good man. We've got some England teammates of yours that are joining up later on this evening. We're not quite sure what sort of state they're going to be in, physically and emotionally, shall we say. But it's an extraordinary achievement that they've done, and they are your England teammates, but they're very clearly probably your biggest club rivals as well. So I wonder how that feels from your perspective when you see your home, Manchester, painted blue.
To be honest, it's not nice, but at the same time, it's football. The best team that's consistently playing the best football is going to win the most trophies, and they've managed to win 3 this year, and well done to them. And obviously we just move on now, and it's up to them to keep it up, and it's up to the rest of us to try and catch them up.
Does it give you extra motivation?
Yeah, 100%.
And look, it's that time of year when the issue of player contracts and transfers is absolutely rife, and I'm desperate to ask you about your contract situation at Old Trafford, but the chap next to you is going to leap all over me if I do and probably kick me out of the room. So instead I'm going to ask you about the transfer speculation about some of your England teammates, because you look out there today, Jude Bellingham, Declan Rice, James Maddison, Harry Maguire, Calvin Phillips, Harry Kane, the captain, all being linked with summer moves, and a lot of those moves are credible. It's not just pie in the sky gossip. What's that like for the players? Is that difficult, and can it cause a distraction?
No, I think the players it's not the first time that this has happened. And, every time it has happened, every player's just been committed to England whilst they've been here, and that's what you have to do. You have to try and leave behind what's happening in your club career. Yeah, there'll be people doing stuff maybe. I don't know, I've not spoke to anyone about it, but I don't think here's the time or place to do that. Because, like I said, the players are just focused on, firstly, their game against Malta and then the second game. So, they're fully committed to winning them games.
Top man, thank you.
Alex.
Hi Marcus, you've had a good season, 30 goals, came into form during the World Cup. Do you think that period helped kickstart your form and your season?
Possibly, I just tried to keep working hard. I've been working hard from the beginning of the season. We didn't start the season that well. But I think as the team improved, I improved, and that's credit to my teammates, because as a forward, the only thing you can do is make runs, and it's up to your teammates to be able to find the passes and make your runs count. And I have some fantastic teammates that have extraordinary capabilities, and it's a big thanks to them.
As you said, the season's been very long. I think the fixtures come out this week. Has there been any point of this season you've spoken to players that maybe the calendar needs to be looked at, and how have you found it?
To be honest, I think that's evident. Like, it's mad that we're playing at club level. We're playing against teams that are playing 1 game a week, and we're playing 3 games a week from November up until we got knocked out of Europa League. So it's difficult, but at the same time we're used to doing it. But I don't think it's right.
What would you like to see changed?
I don't know. I'm not the one that's supposed to have the answers.
Is it something you've spoken about with other players, about the amount of games? Like you say, you've done it for a long time, since November. Have you had those conversations about more injuries, or something that you've experienced?
Not this season, but I think in the earlier stages of my career, I just couldn't make sense of it. If one team's, I know some managers have spoke out about it. But if one team's playing 60 games in a year and another team's playing 38, there needs to be some time for the team that's playing them 20 extra games to recover and, to be able to prepare properly for the game.
In this England squad, there's lots of attacking talent, and particularly in this squad, a lot of players in that position that are in good form. Do you think you're in a good position now to cement yourself as one of the first names on the team sheet?
To be honest, we're all here together, and I think we've enjoyed training together. As always, really, it's nothing different. We always enjoy our time here, and we always manage to score a lot of goals there, so it's always fun to play.
Thanks.
Thanks, Alex. And Dennis?
Hi, Marcus. I've got a light-hearted question, first of all, to begin with. I don't know if you've had any contact with the City players yet, but have you thought about what you're going to say to them when you do see them as a Red?
Not really, just congratulations. It's like I said before, it's football, and the most consistent team's going to win the most trophies, and it's nothing new. You look at Barcelona years ago, Real Madrid, they're consistently the best teams, so they're going to win. They're going to win trophies.
But the impact that it could have for England, regardless whether it be Manchester City, Manchester United, Liverpool, West Ham, the one thing that strikes me, and you were involved in Gareth Southgate's first game, which was actually against Malta in 2016, the one thing that strikes me now is that the English players are starting to win at club level. How have you, or what have you noticed regarding the mentality and how that could impact the dressing room for England?
I think it's a massive positive. We've got players that have experienced massive occasions, and it's only gonna help us as a nation to hopefully be able to get over the line in a major tournament.
And from a personal point of view, I heard you saying that you're mature now, or you've matured. What was the trigger point for you with that? Because it's not like you're a veteran, you're still only a young man, you're 25. When did you find that maturity?
I don't think it's about age, to be honest. I think it's just about experiences. I don't know how many games I've played in total, but probably close to 400, something like that. So that's a lot of football matches and a lot of different experiences that I've managed to get through and learn from. So yeah, for me, it's not about how old you are. It's just about the experience that you've gone through. And like you just mentioned, there's a lot of players here that have experienced the biggest occasions, and I think it's massive for us.
I didn't know if it was because of your charity work and your work away from the field, if that's maybe helped as well.
In a sense, but see, everyone speaks about the charity work. That's just the first bit of charity work that I allowed people to have info on.
Yeah.
So I've been doing charity work since I was 18, but this one was a little bit different because to make a change we needed other people on board, and I felt like we had to speak out about it in order to get that. So that's what I did.
Thanks, Ian. Any other questions in this section? Okay, just take one from Matt.
Hi, Marcus. So you spoke about how it's not in your hands as players to make a difference and to make those changes as far as the kind of structure of the game is concerned, and the amount of time that you have off. But as you've shown with your charity work, but also as you've shown with kind of united action amongst all the captains and the leading players, as happened over COVID, there is power with the players. So you want to play for England. That's kind of obvious. You want to play for Manchester United, not to miss a game, but there's only so much of you, so far you can stretch. So are we getting to a point now where the players might need to come together to have those conversations?
Like I said before, the players are going to push ourselves to the absolute limits, and I did say it's nothing new, so it's not a complaint or a dig. I'm just giving you my honest opinion, and I don't think it's correct. I think we need to be given more time to recover in between certain games, and at different stages of the season as well. So yeah, that's just my personal opinion on it, but I don't think it's down to the players we shouldn't have to put ourselves in a position to speak out about something that, we're not in control of, or we're not going to make the final decision on. So
who are you calling on to address this then?
It's not my issue to be addressing it. Like, I'm just giving you my opinion as any other fan or any of you guys would have an opinion on it. Do you think it's right? Do you think it's fair on the players?
My opinion isn't particularly important, but I think you're stretched too far, yes. Just very, very quickly, sorry, on one of the topic, how and very different, the quality in this squad is remarkable. How strong is this squad in comparison to the squads during your long career now with England?
No, I think it's obviously grown and got stronger, and I think a lot of it is down to our time being here as well. It's not just about individual development away from national team, because some England teams in the past have struggled to put it together, even though they've all been top individual players and team players for the clubs. So yeah, I think a lot of it is down to the environment here, and it's not an easy thing to be. A lot of us here play in the same league. It's not an easy thing to be competing against each other and then come together as a squad, but it seems to happen so seamlessly now, and it's a massive positive for us.
Thanks, Mark. We'll finish this section with Dan.
Hi, Marcus. The Premier League's so competitive now, we're probably going to keep getting situations where big teams like Chelsea and Spurs this year miss out in Europe altogether. Given what you're saying, do you think that can be an advantage for teams who aren't in Europe next year with the more rest?
It's never an advantage for a team not to be in Europe, because, like I said before, that's the biggest games, and every player wants to play in Europe. It's as simple as that. So you don't want to miss out on Europe to get more rest. That's silly.